In this problem, we're going to be looking at combinations and developing patterns to make this type of problem much simpler. The problem reads, Brian is picking activities for next year. He wants to take one language, one sport, and one club. The languages he can take are Spanish or French. The clubs he is considering are chess, debate, engineering, and robotics. For a sport, he can choose soccer, tennis, or volleyball. How many different combinations of activities can Brian pick? Fix the typo. One way, before you have as much experience with this type of problem, is to set it up in kind of an organized list so you can start finding the combinations and pairing items together. So in this, it says that he wants to take one language. For choices of language, he can take Spanish or French. He's also considering a club, or he's going to take one club. And the clubs are chess, debate, engineering, and robotics. And he's also going to take a sport. The sports here he's going to choose. He's going to choose one from soccer, tennis, or volleyball. So if we're going to go ahead and make combinations, one way to do it really organized is to just focus on one thing at a time. So let's keep the language the same. Let's keep the club the same, and then just find combinations when we're doing the sport. So I can do, let's say I'm going to pick Spanish and chess. If I pick Spanish and chess, I can then do soccer. I could do Spanish, chess, tennis, or Spanish, chess, volleyball. Right now, you can already see one pattern. If I keep the language and the club the same, then I have three choices, and those are my sports. Or let me keep Spanish the same, or now I'm going to choose a different club. Let's say I do debate. Now look, I have the same options. Spanish debate soccer, Spanish debate tennis, Spanish debate volleyball. So you could see if I kept the language the same and the club the same, there were three. Three more. So you can assume now if I'm going to do Spanish and engineering, I'm going to have three more options. Three. Just for demonstration, I will do Spanish robotics, but you're going to see there's going to be three more options doing it this way. Those are all of the options with the language of Spanish. I broke it down into Spanish and chess, then Spanish debate, Spanish engineering, Spanish robotics, and we paired a sport with each one. So altogether, with my Spanish possibilities, I had 12. Instead of repeating the process, you can look at this visual and say, okay, I'm going to have all of those options, but now instead of Spanish, we would just substitute out French. These are all the combinations, so once again, I'm going to have 12 combinations if I do French. And you could actually map those out, and you're going to see there would be 24 different possibilities. Mathematically, when these problems start getting a little more difficult, you can also notice a pattern. You see, I had two options for language. I could have paired each of those two languages with 4 different clubs and 3 different sports. We are able to multiply 2 times 4 is 8 times 3. That equals 24. Now the reason that works is because for each language, if I have 4 different options for clubs, that's going to be 8 total different options. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like 4 times 2. For each option, I have 4 choices for each language, and I have 2 languages, so that's why I can do 2 times 4. And then the same thing, I can multiply it by 3, because for each of those combinations, for each of these 8 that I pair, which is what I did here, I have 3 more choices. So that'd be like with each of these 8 different options, I could go 3 different directions for sports. So that's why I can multiply that by 3 and get 24. 2 different ways that you could do it. One, you can develop the visual until you're more comfortable using the multiplication, or jump right into that method.